morning. Thanks, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Convocation. Please find a seat. We're excited to be back with you all this semester. Yeah, I can hear the excitement there too. Good, excellent. All right, good. Okay, that's more excitement than I was expecting, so excellent, good start. So today, what we have for you is a quick reintroduction to Convo. I know a lot of you have been here a semester or much more than a semester, so you kind of know what Convo is all about, but so we'll go through it pretty quickly. But we hope that if you have questions or clarifications that are needed, Doug and I are pretty easy to reach out to. So we're gonna talk about what Convo is, what the expectations are for you, but then we're gonna turn over most of our time to SGA, and they've got some really good stuff to share with you as well. So that's gonna be the main event. We're gonna get the Convo reintroduction going though as well. I don't think we have any announcements today, so let's start with talking a little bit about what Convo is. I think we have a couple slides. All right, I know what the first slide says, so I'll jump right to it. It's not all that content heavy. Who are we? Who are these people up at the stage? Who are the people who run Convo? There's two of us. A lot of you have met us already. Please say hi if you haven't yet. We love to talk to you guys. I am Meredith Lehman. I teach in the business department. This is my second year at Bethel, so I'm excited to be here.
And I'm Doug Siemens. I teach in teacher education. I had to make sure that I did a reintroduction of myself because I look different than I did last semester. My doctor said I need to lose weight, and so I went ahead and cut off my beard, and I'm down 10 pounds already. So winning.
Excellent. Thank you, Doug. And I would also like to introduce, some of you know already, we have a couple of student assistants who do awesome behind-the-scenes work for us, and a lot of the coordination that you see comes from them. So if you guys don't mind standing. Yeah, give a round of applause to Sarah and Ronald. Perfect. So Sarah and Ronald, they love to hear all your comments and concerns about Convo too. They can bring those things to us, but also keep them in mind. They're doing a lot of hard work behind the scenes. So a lot of the things you can do can make their lives easier as well. Yeah, bring your IDs. Sarah wants to remind you. It makes our lives a little easier, especially Sarah and Ron's lives. So we're Doug and Meredith, Sarah and Ron. Also a shout out to Damon Clausen and the folks working in the booth up there. This would all be a total disaster without them. So. Okay, so if you need to reach us, we're pretty easy to reach. Those are our email addresses that you can sort of read up there in that print. But feel free to email us anytime. If you think you should have gotten Convo credit and you didn't, please let us know, ideally as close to the time as possible. Or other comments, questions, feedback. We love to hear feedback, what you liked or what you think could be different. Always happy to hear from you. It's always helpful if you check your credit regularly. If we're hearing from you 2.5 months later that you didn't attend a Convo, we'll probably have to have a short conversation about what you remember from that Convo. 2 days later makes more sense. The other way you might want to get in touch with us is if you want to make an announcement here at the beginning of Convo, or if you want to put a slide up at the beginning of Convo. The email address to use for that is convo-announce, convo-announce@bethelks.edu. If you email any of the four of us, it'll probably get back to the group, but convo-announce is how you immediately get in touch with the whole group of us, and that's the smoothest way to get in touch. Again, it really helps everybody, especially the folks who are putting together these slides. If you can get those in at least 24 hours in advance, that's a big help. So this is the part where I think a lot of you are pretty familiar with the requirements, but we do want to make sure that everybody is on the same page going into the new semester. So essentially, we're talking about the Convocation syllabus and what we expect from you and what this looks like. So the syllabus is posted on Thresher Connect. We've also sent out the spring schedule. That is more or less set in stone, but I know there are a few things that will probably change or things that might even be added, extra opportunities to get Convo credit. So we'll communicate with you via email on all of that. This is, as you know, a credit, no credit course, so either you get credit for Convo or you don't. The only way to get credit, of course, is to attend 18 sessions in a semester, with the exception of nursing students who have an exemption because they're gone a lot. But everybody else, 18 sessions per semester. And everybody needs that to graduate pretty much every semester they're here at Bethel, with very few exceptions. You can talk to the registrar if you feel like you need an exemption for some reason. It's an experience that everybody gets to have, and that's why we have you all here with us today. So 18 sessions to get credit. If you don't attend 18, it means you don't get credit for the semester and you're in danger of not being able to graduate. So then we have to figure out a directed study or some other way to get credit. It's not ideal. Easiest way to do it is to be here at least 18 times. A couple other things to take note of. As we've already mentioned, and as I think most of you did a great job of doing, you get attendance by scanning your ID as you walk in the door. As you know, if you need to get up during convo, that's fine. Scan out when you leave the doors, and then make sure that when you come back in after you've gone to the restroom or whatever, you scan in again. That scanning in again is how you will still have credit for convo. That means, of course, you need to have your student ID with you. Again, makes everybody's lives easier if you have it. If you do forget your ID, we will have a sign-in sheet here up front. Write your name and ID number, and we'll make sure you get credit. If you don't have your ID, if it's broken, if you've lost it, it's worth a little bit of extra effort to just go and replace it. It'll save you and us some time overall. One thing I do want to point out, we have had last semester, a whole distant time in the past, but last semester we sometimes had issues with folks who would sign in up front and then leave. And then we have no way to track that, right? When that happened, we had to start asking folks to sit up front, to sit really close to the front so that we could see them. Not everybody wants to sit close to the front. It's not ideal. So we're gonna start with a clean slate at this point. But if that starts happening again, be aware that we might have to start asking you all to sit in the front if you're signing in up front. So we can avoid that if we don't have that problem again, but that's something to keep in mind. That's where we went with that last semester. You need to be here in the first 10 minutes. If it's after 10 minutes after convo starts when you arrive, you will not get credit. You also will not get credit if you leave before people are dismissed at the end. There are no excused absences for convocation. We have a lot of opportunities for convo credit. There are, I believe, 26 of these Monday, Friday sessions this semester. And then there are also 5 or more. There might be things added, but there are several other opportunities to get convo credit if you're falling behind, or other things that you think are cool that are happening on campus. Lots of ways to get convo credit. So that means that if you're out of town for a sports or music event or something, it's great, but plan your schedule so that you go to other convo events. Like I said, we've been really excited to be able to offer convo credit for things outside of just this space. That means that when there are cool speakers on campus or films being shown or other events of various kinds, we want you all to get excited about attending those, and in some cases we can offer convo credit. It's great. We will send emails with detailed information about how to make sure that you get counted if you go to those events. How to get credit. Make sure, this is just a quick reminder, the place to check attendance for convo is not the same as the place you would check attendance for all your other classes. It'll be right there on Thresher Connect on the right-hand side. Sorry, that's a little hard to see. But there should be a very clear convo credit check up there. Again, check in regularly. Make sure there wasn't a scanner mishap. Let us know if you see something that you should have gotten credit for and you didn't. I'm going to turn it over to Doug, and then we'll hear from SGA.
Okay, so I want to talk about respect. So we're going to start on time and end on time. This is a 50-minute class. We'd like to start exactly at 11, so plan your day to get here on time so we can start on time. And we will dismiss you when the speaker's done. Sometimes John Garing's not here at this time. So sometimes the speaker might go over, but be respectful for that. We will try not to let them go over, okay? So we're going to try to be respectful for that. Phones, the telephone, cell phone, it's with us all the time, isn't it? So I would like to ask you to use that for good, not for evil. If you're playing Pokemon on it, that's not good, okay? So if you're getting updated with all the TikTok video, not good. If you're checking something that a speaker said, that's fine, but it needs to be that. And so those of you who tend to look at your phone too much, think about just putting that away for this time of day. We need to be able to see your eyes and ears, okay? So you need to have your ears exposed. You shouldn't have your hoods up. We should be able to see your ears and make sure that you don't have earbuds in, okay? So no earbuds, and we need to be able to see your eyes. So wearing dark glasses, unless you've got some sort of concussion or something, we need to see that you're not asleep, right? Okay. The acoustics in this auditorium are exceptional. So if someone's talking back here, I can hear them up here very well. I also have line of sight everywhere from up here. So if I see you sleeping and I'm the speaker, that's disrespectful, okay? Have I fallen asleep in Convocation? Yes, I have. So I'm with you. I understand this. But be awake, alert, and paying attention. We want to enter this space with an idea, a feeling of empathy. So thinking about the speaker, put yourself in the speaker's place. This can be an intimidating crowd to talk to. So have some understanding and kindness for them. Be patient. We have people who are coming in who don't speak all the time in front of groups, but they have important information they want to share. Be patient with them. Sometimes the slides don't work. Be patient. Be civil. Be good humans. I know you will be. It's fine. Things that are, I know because I was a student here once too. The scan and scoot. You scan in and then you kind of scoot out that door, or you run up here and dash out the stage. So I'll be watching for you. And without the beard now, I'm a much faster person. So, and I'm still working on my form tackle, get you guys stopped, but I'll be there, all right? So you want to have a respect for our community, show that you care for one another. If someone's asking a question, have respect for that student who's asking a question. So show respect all the way around. If you're doing these things, if you're causing trouble, you will lose credit for that convocation. Of course, if you ditch, you're going to lose credit for that convocation. And I'm just going to work with you. So if you're one of those persons who's you need more time to learn, this is the way we do things. I will work with you. I will invite you to my office, and we'll sit down. We'll have a talk, and because I believe in you. I believe that you're going to do the right thing at the right time and be a great thresher. Okay? Is that it? That's it.
All right. So, thank you all very much for listening to us. And again, if you have questions or clarifications, we're looking forward to a semester together. We're going to turn it over to SGA. One thing I did not mention, though it will be consistent from last semester, you will have the opportunity to submit questions or comments for the speaker via Google form in most cases. We also will have the mics going around. So I think SGA might take advantage of that as well. That's another good way to use your phones, by submitting questions to our speakers as well. So thanks again, and let's give it up for SGA.
Happy Friday, friends. We are the SGA, and we're excited to be here. My name is Elena Wallace. I am the president of the Student Government Association, and we're excited to share with all of you who we are as student government, what we do, how we do it. You will have the opportunity to hear from several different members of SGA, but more importantly, at the end, we will be able to hear from you towards the end of our presentation. So the Student Government Association mission statement reads, "We, the Student Government Association, are the official representative voice for all students within Bethel College. We exist and govern to empower our student body by seeking to enhance the entire student experience by supporting and/or drafting policy that promotes student interests, needs, and welfare. We serve as a liaison between the students and faculty, staff, alumni, and administration, while diligently serving with integrity, honor, and enthusiasm, while always aware of our college's proud tradition of academic excellence. We advocate for all of our constituents with respect to individual differences, which may include, but are not limited to, age, cultural background, disability, ethnicity, family status, gender presentation, immigration status, national origin, race, religion, sex, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, and veteran status. In short, we govern for students and by students. We are here for all of you. Now now that you know a little bit about who we are as the Student Government Association, I'll let Caroline now tell you a little bit more about how SGA operates.
My name is Caroline Preheim. I'm the Vice President of SGA, and I will tell you a little bit about how SGA works. So the structure is set out kind of like the U.S. government. We have 3 branches. The Senate votes on bills and enacts new laws. It's the biggest branch. I think there are 20-something members. There's a lot of us. Judicial adjudicates over clubs and reviews bylaws. That has changed from last year. It's kind of in a work in process, and Jaxie will talk about it a little bit later. Executive is the voice between administration and students. Everyone up here is part of exec. Elena is the president, so she's the head. And we meet weekly on Tuesdays at 11 to kind of discuss goals and how we're working with Senate and Judicial to make things happen. Shout out to Anna Para, who is our SGA advisor. I don't know if she's here. Oh, cool, she's outside. Yeah, she helps us a lot with kind of meeting between administration and us, and helps us get things done. And something important to note is that SGA encompasses all registered student organizations, which in short are clubs. So if you want to start a club or if you're part of a club, we oversee it, we give you funding, and we make sure it's all working as it should be. And yeah, Elena will talk a little bit more next.
Awesome, thanks Caroline. So some of our fall semester accomplishments, water fountains. Guys, this one was like my baby. Like since the very beginning of when I was a senator, I have wanted new water fountains. So we were able to get a new water fountain in the Crable Science Center, the WAC, and in Gehring. And this was possible with the financial help from many departments, as well as from the maintenance department. But the water fountains are a perfect example of students raising a concern. We don't have anywhere to fill up our water bottles. They tell SGA, SGA is able to help them out, find funding for the project, and make it happen. Reworking the judicial branch. So our judicial branch used to hear student discipline cases, but now we are in a bit of a transition process, and I will let our Chief Justice, Jaxie, talk about that in more detail in a little bit. Lighting and safety improvements. So a few of us executive members went on a campus safety walk with Sam Haynes, Vice President for Student Life, and we identified some poorly lit areas of campus and opportunities for safety improvement. We shared these with Vice President for Business Affairs, Alan Weedle, who's working with us now on improving these areas of campus. Emergency phone checks. So we did this on our campus safety walk also. We checked all the phones, make sure they all work. We found all of them, but we all decided that they're not always very well lit or very user friendly. So we're working with Sam Haynes right now on finding a type of emergency station that we can implement on Bethel's campus to hopefully replace the current emergency phones long term. Collaboration with Parents Association on rides to the airport. This is something we just started this last semester, and we've had several students make use of this service. We plan to continue it this next semester. Continue to develop relationships with various departments. This includes meeting with different departments and individuals, such as Jill Hoops, the Director of Student Wellness, Amber Celestin, Director of Student Success and Retention, Clark Oswald, Director of Financial Aid, and many others. Working and meeting with many departments allows SGA to share ideas we hear from students, and it also allows those departments to share ideas back with student government. We assessed areas of need and direction for the spring semester, which I will let Caroline tell you more about.
So something we heard a lot about last semester was wanting a bike share program. It would be where we have, several bikes on campus that you could rent or check out, and you could take it to the grocery store, to Taco Bell downtown, whatever you want it for. So we're hoping to implement that soon. Laundry machines. We got a donation from the Parent Association that is supposed to go towards replacing the laundry machines, And so hopefully Senate this spring will be assessing where the greatest need is for that, and we will be replacing a laundry machine in one of the dorms. Recycling, it is always an issue on campus. Where recycling bins are, what can we recycle, all that. So we're working to make that a better system. Printing, if anybody looked at their email before they came into Convo, you noticed that we got an email saying that printing is now free in the library. Woohoo. They took out the printer in the computer lab. Yes, clap for it. Okay. If you didn't get that email, oops. Yeah, they took out the printer in the computer lab, but now we have free printing in the library, so that's very exciting. We are working on putting together a public archive of legislation, so people know what we've been voting on over the semester and can be up to date on the new rules and regulations. Title IX reform, always an ongoing process. We are working with Sam Haynes and the Title IX committee to make that a better process for everyone. Meal plans, we've heard a lot of complaints about people not knowing how many they have left to use for the semester, or the reduced plans are kind of hard to get. So we're working to make that also an easier process. As Elena said, emergency stations and overall campus safety, big one that we're working on. We're wanting to get those big, cool light posts maybe with a call button. That'd be really cool. And a mural project that started last year. If you've all seen the mural on the side of Howry, so that will be Senate pushing through, finding artists to do it and getting that art up before the end of the year. So, we already have artists, I lied. And next is Ahmed Fall with SGA Finances.
Alright, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ahmed Fall, and I'm the Chief of Staff of the Student Government Association. So basically, my role, I'm basically the treasurer of the Student Government Association. I'm in charge of all of our finances. So you guys know, for the most part, I hope you guys know at least, that you pay a student government fee. And for a full-time student, that's $120 per semester, and for a part-time student, that's $60 per semester. So basically, because you pay that money, you'll most likely want to know what we do with that money. I really have to bend down right now, and this is annoying me because of how small this mic is. But so what we do with that money is, if you guys don't know, we currently have over 10 student organizations on campus at the moment, and you could find those organizations on the Bethel SGA website if you want to join them. But one of the things we do with our money is we fund these organizations. Some of them are well-known, like Diversity Council and SAC. And we give them money so they can have the events that they want to have for the student body. Another thing we do, which Caroline just spoke about, is we help fund special projects to help enhance student life at Bethel College. There are certain special projects we help fund, like the water bottle refill station, mural project, free printing, of course, as well. But in addition to that, clearly, we have to fund our own internal operations. There are times we need to fund ourselves for certain situations, and we also have the ISR, the Individual Scholarship Request. So what is the ISR for those of you who don't know? So the ISR is our way of assisting students who are financially in need to request funding for certain things in regards to educational expenses. So you can request, for example, includes but is not limited to graduate school applications, conference exams, conference expenses, exam registration fees, in addition to textbooks. So if you guys are financially in need and need to apply for the individual scholarship request, there are forms for that in the student life office, so it's something that you could do, and it will take up to 1 to 2 weeks depending on when you apply for Senate to have it approved, or maybe longer, really depends, but it's something that if you're financially in need, I recommend applying for. So now.
Hi, I'm Kaylin Wiles. I'm the Speaker of the Senate. So up here is the legislative branch. Those are all the senators, all of your student representatives. So if you have like a problem on campus, you're like, hey, this would be really cool. Go talk to them, and they will relay the message so we can get things done. So kind of what we do, we are made up of senators that represent the entire student body. So all of you like have a senator representative. We pursue projects that benefit the student body, like the water fountains, And then we work towards bridging the gap between students and administration. So like if you're like, Bethel doesn't do this, like it's crazy, like relay the message and we'll try to fix it. And then we vote on bills that approve funding, appoint members, etc. So like we approve ISR funds, we approved funding for the water fountains, approved funding for like free printing and stuff. Yeah, that's that.
Hey, I'm Chief Justice Jaxie Girk, as it says on my lovely slide. Thank you. I have really good friends in the audience. So I do have some associate justices, and I'm going to make them stand because I'm horrible. So we have Emma Gerton, or she can just wait. Yeah. David Wolf Cochran. He might not be here. That's okay. Matt Hernandez. I saw him. Yeah. And Sam Ashimwe. Yay! So these are our associate justices. So if you have any questions about what we do, you can also ask them, or you can ask me. So what do? We serve justice. But we've changed it up a little bit. It's a little less extreme. I wish it was still so extreme. I'm just kidding. But we're actually working on rewriting bylaws and hoping to pass those soon. So what do I mean when I say we rewrote bylaws? I had to look through all of the Constitution and see where it said anything about the justice branch, and wrote about changing it to, instead of hearing individual cases, we hear things from our campus groups. So some of the groups we have on campus will now be working with us. So if you're in any campus groups, get used to seeing our lovely faces. We're going to be working with you guys to make sure that you're following some of the set guidelines, making sure that you have like good members, good participation, and making sure that you're holding events and stuff like that, so we can make sure that finances and the money that we give to you is going to the right place and that it makes sense. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. It's kind of a weird year of transition, so yeah.
Hi everybody, so my name is Naomi Epp and I am the Secretary of Public Relations. So basically what that means is that by description, I'm the one that runs our email account, the social media, the website, but I also do other stuff with this group beyond just those things. So if you ever get an email from the SGA account, or if you send an email to us, I'm probably the first one either sending or receiving that. Yeah. Unless there's like a weird thing that I'm like going camping and I tell someone else that they have to be me for a couple days and then things get all mixed up, but that's okay. So another thing that we have this year that's new beyond emailing us or messaging us through social media in order to get into contact with us is this phone number, which is connected to a Google Voice account. And it's completely anonymous. I mean, your number shows up, but I don't know anyone's numbers, so I have no idea, like, I don't have any way to figure that out. And it's just a more informal way to send us suggestions or ask questions or give ideas for programming or other ways that you would like your student government fee to be used. It's a little bit easier than like trying to figure out how to send a formal email at 10 p.m. when you're just having a little chat with your mod mates and you want to send some feedback. It's easy to just send that text. So one thing that I do, like I said, is manage our website, and this is how you get to it. If you want to, you can use your hand device phone to use that QR code to get to it too if you really want to. But this is what our website looks like. And it has a section for SGA Cares, which is another way that you can contact us anonymously or non-anonymously. There's a spot for forms and applications. Like Ahmed talked about, there are forms for like individual scholarship requests, club funding, starting a club, things like that. On here you can also find out more information specifically about who's on which Senate committee, who are members of Diversity Council and SAC, as well as just other frequently asked questions about SGA. This is constantly being updated because I'm the only one that does that. And so if you see something and you're like, let me know, because it's very possible that it just hasn't been updated in a while. So I thank you for your patience on that, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Hello, it's me again. So SAC, Student Activities Council, we're the ones that put on events every week, like the Thresher Cinemas where you watch movies, or the Dine at Nines where you get free food. This is our social media information. Follow so you can get updates, know what events are coming up and whatnot. And also tonight there's a casino night. I wish to see you all there. It's going to be so much fun. There's going to be food and beverages and games, and you're going to get to win prizes, so like come. And then these are events coming up in February. We have like one per week, so make sure you're like, hey, free food on this night, let's go.
Okay, hi, I'm Ellie Bradley. I am the co-secretary of, thanks, of Diversity Council. So at the end, in spring 2019, we created a mission statement partially because SGA had one. We thought that'd be a good idea to sort of operate all of our events under, and then we made another one for this year as our co-secretaries changed. And so this is the mission statement that we've been working with all year. It goes into how diversity needs to not just be about ethnicity and race, but about many other things, including just people, not just all of your backgrounds and everything. So that's our mission statement, and that's how we're operating this year.
And I'm Ronald Gray. I'm a member of Diversity Council. I just want to bring you a little bit of attention about Black History Month, which starts tomorrow in February. We're going to do 2 events that we have so far. Are the Black and African American Issues on Campus Roundtable, on Campus Roundtable, and then we're also going to do the Black Excellence Showcase. So come on out to those events if you have any ideas or you want to show your talents. And then we're also doing some other spring programming. So for March is Women's History Month. And then April, we're going to have the Bethel LGBTQIA+ Pride Week. And there's also going to be many more events and topics for each month that we'll decide once we get some more meetings going.
Okay, so this is the part where we get to hear from you. So the Board of Directors of Bethel College is this group of individuals who work together to make important decisions about the college. And Caroline and I had a short presentation with the Board of Directors this last fall. And after our presentation, this is one of the questions they asked us. They said, what is something students wish that we understood? They asked, what do we just not get? And Caroline and I tried to answer their questions as best we could based on the information we had and what we know. But after they asked us this, Caroline and I were thinking, we should just ask everybody what they would want us to say. So we get to speak to the board again this spring, and we want to hear your answers. So Naomi is sending out a Google form to everyone's email right now, and it has this exact question on it. These will be anonymous unless you want to put your name down, you can. So guys, everybody take out your phones and actually respond to this. She's sending out the email right now. They got it. So it's a typed response. This can be anything. This can be, my rent goes up and my scholarship doesn't. Thresher Connect is old and hard to use. This could be about the CAF, class size, financial concerns, quality of dorms, the Title IX reporting system, availability of athletic trainers, classes or majors that aren't offered, internship opportunities, anything you can think of that you wish Bethel understood. Go ahead and send it, type it out on the Google form and press submit. We will read through all of these.
So this form will be kept open through tonight. So you guys, if you can't think of anything right now, or if it's too loud to think, because like I can't use my brain if there's like even like 1 decibel of noise. So yeah, it'll be open through tonight. We want you to take a few more minutes now to keep thinking and talking to each other about some of your frustrations or praises even, if you want to share those, doesn't matter. And really thinking about what you want to convey to the board and people who are making decisions, because this is really important to us.
Okay, so everybody filled it out? You can fill it out later too, but please fill it out. It is super important. Okay, if you're interested in joining SGA, we have a few positions open. We currently have a junior senator position open. There are also several spots on Diversity Council. If you are interested in serving as a representative for your classmates and joining SGA, please be on the lookout for elections this spring. There will be a form to fill out, and then we will email out ballots. Please ask any current member of SGA if you have any questions about the election process or any questions that we had today. We would like to thank Meredith and Doug for generously letting us share this first convocation of the semester with them, and we're happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Does it work? Okay. Thank you for talking to us. I know it can be really hard to get stuff done in SGA. So I emailed you a while back about the commuter parking lot because it's a patch of grass and it is a hazard. And I was wondering if you guys have gotten anywhere. I don't know if you've even had a meeting yet in spring, but yeah, last week when I was driving, it was the worst part of my drive. So.
Yes, that's an excellent question. Thanks for bringing that up. We have had a meeting. We had an executive meeting. We meet once a week. Our executive branch does, and we talked about it. We got in contact with Sam Haynes. We got in contact with Alan Weedle, and we're currently working with them right now on trying to find a solution. And we'll reach out to you if we have any questions or ideas, and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as we have any sort of action item or feedback from them. Thank you.
Hello. I just was wondering why, like the rationale behind why judicial branch has changed their role, and also what students should expect if they are disciplined, like what's going to happen now instead of being heard by the branch.
Okay, so yeah, the judicial branch has definitely been a source of like some controversy. We decided to change it over last year. Sam Haynes took a look at it and he was like, this might be infringing on some FERPA rights here, and we don't really want to do that. We're a little bit concerned about that area. And also nobody really used us last year. The only one that I got was one right when I became Chief Justice, and they just wanted us to take a look at it again because they didn't like the punishment given by Sam Haynes. But basically, I've been told that although you won't be seeing students, it'll still be really fair. I mean, if you've met Sam Haynes, he's a really pretty fair guy. Yeah, did you want to say anything?
Like, do you get an email or?
Yeah, so I think there's a student life convocation coming up pretty soon too, and Sam Haynes will be able to answer all of those questions more specifically as far as like how a student discipline case will work and everything like that. So I'd probably encourage you to ask him, just so I don't say the wrong thing. It's his area.
Thank you for being so involved at the school. It really is wonderful. So how is it that students can go about and continue to help financially support the SGA? I mean, we know that you guys are going out and getting money already, but how can we continue to increase the amount of money you guys take in?
Actually, I'm not going to bend that way. We have this available? Okay. So thank you for this. So basically, you guys don't need to worry about financially supporting us in any way because you guys already pay your student government fee, and that's more than enough. We try to make an efficient use of that money to do everything that we do and increase the student quality of life here. So thank you.
Also, you can support organizations like Diversity Council, Sold Curry at Fall Fest, and things like that, so you can buy things when we have fundraisers. That's a good way to support SGA.
A question submitted for SGA is, where are you at with the Stop the Bleed kits?
So the money, so to stop the bleed kits, that was a bill that was approved last year by SGA. And what we basically done with that was we transferred the money to the nursing department, and from what I understand, they were handling it there, but I will follow up on that. Please talk.
Has any action been taken to improve the Wi-Fi around the campus, especially in the dorms?
Hey guys, give me like 2 seconds. Give me like 2 seconds. I have something written down about this actually. So, at the end of December, I met with Adam to talk to him about his plan for the Wi-Fi. As you guys know, Adam currently works in the IMS department. And basically what he told me was, I'm planning to have a following up meeting with him either at the beginning of next week, at some point at the beginning of next week. But he said in the winter, IMS is going to be forming a support contract with Aruba, and that's the company that they work with for the Wi-Fi. And their goal is to work to increase the number of access points throughout residents' life. They will also be working on configuration issues and update the core hardware that runs at the same time with the same companies so that people can have better connectivity. So the primary point where we're going to focus on increasing where they said at least they want to focus on increasing the Wi-Fi is the residence halls, and then we'll continue it on from there, but we'll keep on trying to work with them to see how we could improve the Wi-Fi at the college because we all know that's a necessity.
Additional questions?
Yes, I have one. When is the AC coming back on in Hari? It's very hot.
So I'm at Fall SGA Community Assistant, also know that too. So basically, it's still the winter, so technically, so we're still like, the AC is not gonna be on until I believe at some point in either end of February, beginning of March, or like mid-March at some point at around that time span. So until it actually starts to warm up outside, we're not gonna have the AC on. So yeah.
Additional questions? Any additional questions? Okay. All right, in that case, I appreciate you all raising your questions with SGA. Oh, did we have? Oh. Hey, guys. We're still early, guys. We're still
Wait
early.
for it.
Doug already talked about time. You're still gonna get out early. we'll call this the last question.
Okay, here's a question from online. It says, as a senior, the dorm conditions have never been fixed, and I had to move off campus because black mold made me sick. Is there a move to fix these conditions, or will I be told to buy my own air filter?
Okay, yes, guys, thank you for bringing this up. This is the exact answer that you should type in the Google form that we sent out. Because if we get like 20 responses like that, that's what Caroline and I will talk about when we talk to the board of directors, and they are the people that make decisions like building a new dorm, things like that. So yes, I don't know what I can do immediately for that, but that's something that we can definitely tell the board of directors, especially if we're hearing a lot of responses from students like that. So if you have similar feelings like that or other concerns, please type those in the Google form and let us know. Thank you for that. No.
Thank you. Thank you again. Great comments and questions. Another round of applause for SGA.